They called it the most extraordinary discovery of the century, and perhaps the most terrifying. When British archaeologist Howard Carter unearthed the tomb of Tutankhamun in 1922, the world watched in awe, unaware that this moment of glory would soon be shrouded in whispers of death, mystery, and an ancient curse. The entrance to the tomb had been sealed for over 3,000 years. Behind it lay treasures beyond imagination, golden statues, jeweled amulets, and the untouched body of the boy king himself. But as Carter's team broke through the final doorway, a strange, heavy silence filled the air. Superstitions began to stir. Local workers murmured warnings that disturbing the pharaoh's sleep would awaken forces no man could control. At first, Carter dismissed the talk as nonsense. He was a man of science, not of superstition. But soon, the headlines changed everything. Just months after the discovery, Lord Carnarvon, Carter's patron, died suddenly from a simple mosquito bite that became infected. At that exact moment, his dog, miles away in England, let out a howl and fell dead. Newspapers went wild. The curse of the pharaoh strikes. Death comes for those who disturb the king. The legend had begun. Over the years, the so-called curse seemed to claim more lives. A radiologist who examined the mummy, dead. A visitor who opened the tomb, died within weeks. A member of the excavation team, gone mysteriously in his sleep. The coincidences piled up, too many for comfort. Soon, even those who laughed at the idea of a curse began to wonder, could something truly ancient be protecting the tomb? But what exactly is the curse of the pharaohs? Was it written on the walls as a warning? Ancient texts do speak of powerful magic and of spirits bound to guard the resting places of kings. One inscription supposedly read, "Death will come on swift wings to those who disturb the king's peace." Whether that line ever existed inside Tutankhamun's tomb remains debated, yet its impact on the world was undeniable. The myth of the pharaoh's curse took on a life of its own. As archaeologists explored deeper, strange things were reported. Unexplained noises, sudden chills, equipment is failing without reason. Even Carter himself admitted feeling a presence, though he never spoke of it publicly. Some claimed to see flickering lights within the tomb when no one was inside. Others swore they heard faint whispers in the darkness. Was it imagination, or something left behind by an ancient civilization that truly believed in life after death? Modern science, of course, offers explanations. Historians point to toxic molds, ancient bacteria, and airborne spores sealed within the tomb for centuries, deadly enough to sicken or kill anyone who inhaled them. The theory fits the evidence, but not the fear, because fear has its own power. And when the world wants to believe in magic, even science can't completely erase the chill. For the ancient Egyptians, death was not an end. It was a continuation. Every ritual, every symbol, every carving inside Tutankhamun's tomb was designed to protect the pharaoh's soul on his journey to the afterlife. They believed their kings became gods in death, and that disturbing their rest would unbalance the cosmic order. So, in a way, the curse was not about punishment, it was about protection, a spiritual safeguard written in faith, not vengeance. And yet, the irony remains, by opening the tomb, humanity gave Tutankhamun something he never had in life: immortality. His name, once forgotten, became known worldwide. His golden mask became an icon of mystery and power, and the story of his curse ensured that the boy king would live forever, not in the afterlife, but in the imagination of millions. A century later, scientists have examined every angle: medical, historical, psychological. The evidence suggests coincidence, not a curse. But deep down, the legend still holds a certain truth, because when we stand before the treasures of ancient Egypt, surrounded by the silent gaze of their gods, we feel something primal, awe, reverence, and fear. Fear that perhaps, in our endless search for answers, we've gone too far. that some mysteries were never meant to be uncovered. Maybe the true curse of Tutankhamun isn't death, but obsession, our insatiable desire to open every tomb, to break every seal, to expose every secret of the past, even when the past whispers, "Leave me be." Inside Tutankhamun's tomb, time has not moved for over 3 millennia. Every grain of dust, every carving on the wall, tells a story of devotion, eternity, and warning, and perhaps, if we listen closely enough, we might hear the faint echo of the Pharaoh himself, reminding us that some doors, once opened, can never be closed. End line. This was Inside Tutankhamun's Tomb, the truth behind the Pharaoh's curse. If you believe some mysteries should remain buried, you might already understand the curse better than anyone else. Hashtag Tutankhamun, hashtag Pharaoh's curse, hashtag ancient Egypt, hashtag history mystery, hashtag lost civilizations, hashtag Ark.